Are you ready?
From Lakeland Stadium, Adams Cable Sports presents Lackawanna League Football Division III action featuring the Vikings of Riverside and the Lakeland Chiefs. All brought to you today by Adams Cable Service, by the Comfort Doctors, T.E. Spall & Son, Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing of Carbondale, Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center, by NJS Systems and Controls, Route 6 Mayfield, for experience, dependability, and 24-hour service. Also brought to you by Nick's Excavating and Paving, Tom's Floor Shop, your first step to a beautiful home, Main Street, Childs, Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, with locations at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, by your local Napa Auto Parts store, Carbondale Auto Parts. And your starting lineups for today's game are presented by the Roselle Department Store. It's week 3 of Adams Cable High School football, and today we are at Lakeland Stadium for a marquee matchup between the Vikings of Riverside and the Lakeland Chiefs. Joining me, Glenn Muskowski. Glenn, this is a big Lackawanna Football League Division III contest.
It certainly is, and I think it's going to be a lot of offense, Steve. You have the passing of Riverside against the running of Lakeland. Who's going to win the game? Maybe it's going to be determined on the defensive end.
Well, Lakeland's defense is definitely going to be put to the test because Riverside really likes to throw the football.
Well, they have 3 good wideouts, and Gilchrist can really throw the ball, so this is going to be a tough matchup for Lakeland.
Well, it's a great night for football. There's a chill in the air, and of course the wind has kicked up. And we have all of the action coming up for you next here on Adams Cable High School Football. Nick's Excavating and Paving of Carbondale is committed to providing professional service in residential and commercial excavating, land clearing and demolition, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Enhance your property with new paving and seal coating, mulch, or stone. For expert service on your next project, count on Nick's Excavating and Paving Carbondale.
Too hot? Just call Spall. Too cold? Just call Spall. T.E. Spall & Son, where you'll always get our upfront pricing. Plus, now through Wednesday, own a new energy-saving AC system for just $2.84 a day with our exclusive guarantee. Plus, get 0% financing.
We called Spall, and not only do we save a lot of money,
but they're a name that you can trust. They get the job done fast, and they get it done right.
Just call Spall, or see us now at callspall.com.
Now's the time to unleash the internet. With Adams Cable Service, you get internet with speeds up to 120 megs. It's the speed you need that blows the doors off of DSL. Connect all of your devices, including iPads and other tablets, game consoles, smartphones, and computers. Upload and share photos and videos instantly. Stream HD movies in a flash and experience online gaming like never before. Call Adams Cable Service today at 1-888-222-0077 and get internet with speeds up to 120 megs.
We're here today with Harry Armstrong, the head coach of Riverside Vikings. Coach, you're back again. Nice to see you. It's been a long time since we did Riverside here, probably about 9 years ago when you were in a big, phenomenal state finals run. Did a great job in that year. But we haven't seen Riverside much in the last couple of years. Can you tell us a little bit about your team?
Sure. Our team, this is my second year back with this stint with Riverside, and I tell you what, I think we have a great group of guys. We have a lot of senior leadership, a tremendous amount of talent in our skill positions with experience, so we have a lot of weapons that we could spread the ball around. Our quarterback, John Gilchrist, is at the helm for us. Super bright young man, very calm and poised in the pocket, and he can make any throw in the game. And don't underestimate his legs, too. He can scoot a little bit.
Well, I tell you, it looks like, as I said to Dave, it looks like they're going to try to run the ball. You're going to pass the ball. This should be a heck of a game going tonight. And then we'll wonder what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah, we don't know how the game flow is going to go. It's obvious what both teams' strengths and weaknesses are, so we're kind of going against the grain with each other's there. So it could go any which way. It might be a shootout. It might be a grindout. We'll see.
And it may be a defense.
It might be.
Whoever plays a good defense may win the game.
Absolutely.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
No one likes to think about it, but auto accidents happen. If you're in an accident, call the professionals at Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale to return your vehicle back to showroom condition. Beston's Collision Center has been committed to excellence by providing the highest quality, state-of-the-art repairs and exceptional customer service. At Beston's, their motto is, every job is perfect or it doesn't leave the shop. Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale. Their name says it all. Providing the ultimate in professional service is a tradition at Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Carbondale. For more than 50 years, families in Carbondale and its surrounding area have used our 2 Hospital Street and 74 North Main Street locations for a traditional service, cremation or memorial services, or a service of personal preference. Contact Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated to handle every detail. At Tom's Floor Shop in Childs, you get a lot more than you'll ever find in your big box stores. Tom, Ronnie, and the staff each have over 30 years' experience providing great floors to homes and businesses in northeastern Pennsylvania. Tom's Floor Shop will style your home in contemporary elegance and classic beauty with a wide variety of name brand carpeting, hardwood, vinyl, ceramic tile, and professional installation. All roads lead to where great floors begin at Tom's Floor Shop, exit 6 off the Casey Highway in Childs.
We're here with Dave Pawurczyk, the new first-year coach, head coach of the Lakeland Chiefs. Dave, new coach, new system, new philosophy, but you have some good returning offensive people. Can you run down your team a little bit for
Absolutely. We have Giovanni Spatero. This will be his 3rd year starting. Does a hell of a job in the backfield. We have CJ Dupree. This is also his 3rd year starting. And it's always good to have returning starters here. Cross Douglas, this will be his 3rd year starting. And then we have Shane Barrett, who this will be his 2nd year starting, with a lot of experience that we brought up 2 years ago from that freshman team.
Well, again, now you're gonna run into a team today. You're gonna be the running team. They're gonna be the passing team. Anything you have in the set in the back of the mind?
You know, Coach Armstrong does a great job with his kids, and they're very well coached. I think that we need to be able to control the ball tonight. And keep their offense off the field, and that's going to be the game plan.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
And thank you.
What does it mean to be an expert? Does it mean getting the job done right? Or being able to pinpoint a problem and quickly find a solution? Whatever the meaning, the team at NJS are your experts in hydraulic and pneumatic components. So whether you need a custom hose built on the spot or a cylinder repaired from the ground up, the experts at NJS are there when you need them. And with the area's largest hose and fittings warehouse, NJS has thousands of the parts you need in stock and ready to go. NJS, Route 6 Mayfield, online at njsco.com. NJS is proud to call this area home and proud to sponsor our area athletes on Adams Cable Channel 7. Your local Napa dealer, Carbondale Auto Parts, has been serving the area for over 38 years with quality automotive replacement parts, tools, and accessories. Experience the Napa know-how difference with great service you've come to know and trust from the staff at Carbondale Auto Parts. Your Napa know-how folks.
Napa know-how, Napa know-how, Napa know-how, Napa know-how.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now uses 7 wireless devices a day, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 120 megabits per second internet from Adams Cable Service. It's a speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
Welcome back to Lakeland Stadium for Lackawanna Football Conference Division III action featuring the Lakeland Chiefs and the Riverside Vikings. And now the starting lineups for today's game presented by Roselle Department Store in Carbondale, where the new line of spirit wear is on display for your favorite team in all sizes for Lakeland, Carbondale area, Forest City, LaSalle Academy, Holy Cross, and Valley View. Going to a formal affair or a special event? Let the experience and fashion advice of Sam Kalura work for you with a perfectly tailored tuxedo by Sarno & Son. Also available at Roselle, prompt laundry and dry cleaning services. It is easy to look your best with apparel from Roselle Department Store in Carbondale, where Sam and the staff are proud to present your starting lineups for today's game between the Riverside Vikings and the Lakeland Chiefs. Great to have you with us tonight for all of the action here on Adams Cable, Channel 107.
Lakeland deferred.
So Lakeland will get the football.
Nope.
Lakeland will have the football in the second half, I should say, as Riverside will get the football first. So we'll run down your starting lineups for you in just a moment. What a night it is for football. It really is beginning to feel like football weather, finally.
Well, I don't know. Finally,
I was going to say,
I kind of like football in the deep heat. I don't know. I'm not a long pant man. I like shorts.
To me, when it's really warm, that's not football weather. I mean, might just get a little too cool for us here, but here we go from Lakeland as we take a break to honor America with our national anthem. Back at Lakeland Stadium for high school football between the Riverside Vikings and the Lakeland Chiefs. And now your starting lineups for today's game, presented by Roselle Department Store. For the Vikings of Riverside offensively, at wide receiver, Christian Pond, he's a senior. Also at wide receiver, Rosin Reyes, he is the leading receiver on the Vikings. At left tackle, Timmy Lavelle, a senior at 255 pounds. Claudio C.J. Jimenez is at right tackle. Tyler Hoskins at left guard. Justin Teig is at right guard. Anthony Lima at center. Johnny Gilchrist at quarterback for the Riverside Vikings. In the backfield at halfback, John Greenfield. He's a sophomore. Sean Torres will also see action. Alex Jaworski is at tailback. And Diego Rojas will line up at flanker. Defensively for Lakeland, brought to you today by the Roselle Department Store. C.J. Dupree at left end, Robert Romanowski at right end, Cross Douglas at left tackle, Robbie Thomas at right tackle, Chase Nolan at inside linebacker along with Shane Barrett, Billy Good at left corner, Mike Pigeon at right corner, Jason Bullock at strong safety, Domenico Spatero at free safety, and Chris Mellon is the weak side safety for Lakeland in their defensive alignment. Billy Good to kick off for the Lakeland Chiefs. Two are deep for the Riverside Vikings. And we are set for action from Lakeland Stadium as week number 3 is about to get underway. Great to have you on board today from Lakeland Stadium. This line drive kick will be picked up by an upback from the Riverside Vikings. And on the return for Riverside, Noah Parchinsky, the sophomore, 5'9", 140 pounds. They carry the football out near the 41-yard line, and that's where the Riverside Vikings will bring their offense onto the football field, first down and 10.
All joking aside, Steve, it is a nice night for football. Look at the crowd on the Lakeland side, and look at the Riverside brought a bunch of people here tonight. They're all set to go.
Now, this is a marquee matchup and a pivotal one at that here in week number 3 already. Anthony Lima will lead the Riverside Vikings to the line of scrimmage. And Gilchrist will send the man in motion. And the pass goes to the outside. Sean Torres on the reception. He's close to a first down cross midfield.
I mean, that's available all night if they want it. They're going to have to do something with their middle linebackers because that's tough. That's going to be a tough cover.
Yeah, that's definite. With the football resting at midfield, Riverside Vikings in a second down and short yardage situation. Gilchrist to throw, and this pass is complete for a first down. On the reception, looks like Reyes for the Riverside Vikings to the Lakeland 41.
Gilchrist. Tackled by Michael Pigeon on the play. First down, Riverside.
A great catch by that receiver.
Yeah, that was the guy was all over him.
Rosin Reyes, 6'2", 180 pounds. Great target, and it results in a first down for the Riverside Vikings. From the Lakeland 41, Gilchrist handed it off, and this time Lakeland is right there to shut things down at the point of attack. Sean Torres, a very good athlete, talking with head coach Harry Armstrong. He's 5'11", 155 pounds and a senior. Very good baseball player, and is coming along well on the football field. Gain of 1 on the last play, 2nd and 9 for the Vikings from the Lakeland 40-yard line. A little toss play near side, and here comes Torres inside the 40, and he's gang tackled by the Lakeland defense.
Good pursuit by the defense.
Robbie Thomas led the way defensively for Lakeland. Your call, Spall, game time weather. Partly cloudy, temperatures in the low 60s. Wind is out of the east-northeast at about 7 miles per hour. And sometime around 9 o'clock, the temperature will dip into the mid-50s.
Forecast for later on tonight.
And a reverse. Torres will come to the near side inside the 40, and then is tripped up and run out of bounds in front of the Lakeland bench near the 36-yard line.
I'll tell you, that time for Lakeland, Billy Good stopped that whole thing right by himself right at the point of attack.
The 2 on a play brings up 4th and 5.
You're going to ask a lot out of your corners. I mean, to not only defend a pass, but you're going to try and keep contained because so far they've been trying to get outside quite a bit.
And the Vikings on 4th down and about 5 yards to go. Gilchrist in the pocket.
Screen.
Little screen play to Reyes, and Reyes with moves. Driving.
I don't think he's got it.
He looks like he may be just short of that first down. We'll check the spot of the football near the 32-yard line.
Yeah, if he just got upfield, I think he had that no problem. But he's a big target, Reyes.
And Lakeland has taken over possession of the football as the Vikings turn it over on downs. That's a big stop for Lakeland here in the early stages of quarter number 1 with 9:35 remaining on the Call Spall scoreboard, and we are scoreless between Riverside and Lakeland. Great to have you with us tonight for Adams Cable High School football, as the Lakeland Chiefs will bring their offense onto the football field for the first time in the contest. We'll take a look at quarterback C.J. Dupree, the junior at 6'5" and 245 pounds. He completes the pass.
Good move by Good.
With a move, and Good has the first down for Lakeland across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
That was a great first move.
Really good. First down, Chiefs.
So Lakeland picks up a big first down on their first play of the game.
15 yards.
Yeah, we kind of remember Billy Good from last year being more of the kicking specialist, and he still is, but taking on the offensive role this year. Did play defense last year.
He kind of does it all this year. You'll see him in as a receiver, kicker, punter.
Kind of do everything.
Yeah, he's also on defense. First down for Lakeland. Spataro caught at the line of scrimmage. I believe this will result in a loss of a yard on the play.
Brought down by Alexander.
The Riverside Viking.
Jaworski.
Yeah, Riverside Viking defense all over it. And we'll run down the defensive alignment, brought to you by the Roselle Department Store. Robert Bond at left end, Justin Teig at right end, Anthony Lima at nose guard. The linebackers are Christian Pon, Alex Jaworski, John Greenfield, and Gavin Thomas. Diego Rojas at left corner, Sean Torres at right corner, Rosin Reyes at safety, along with Noah Parchinsky. On second down and 11 for Lakeland. Dupree comes near side to Good, and Good will get that yard back, and that's about all. To the original line of scrimmage, it will be third down and 10 for the Chiefs.
Giving you a stacked, two receivers split to both sides, stacked over each other.
Gain one brings you back to third and 10.
Robert Romanowski checks into the Lakeland lineup. He'll line up in the backfield for the Chiefs. He is 6'2", 200 pounds, and a junior. As Mason Ormsby, the sophomore at 235 pounds, and at center, he'll lead Lakeland to the line of scrimmage. Dupree handing it off, and Giovanni Spataro with the football across the Riverside 45-yard line, and a flag on the play.
Late hit. Picked up 11 on the run.
Pick up another 15 here.
That should result in excellent field position for Lakeland, and it will on a personal foul. .8:14 remaining on the Call Spall scoreboard. We're scoreless here at Lakeland Stadium. There's the call.
That's 2 first downs to pick up for Lakeland. That's a big thing for them.
Football will be marked at the Riverside 28-yard line. First down and 10, the Chiefs. C.J. Dupree handing it off, and this play goes nowhere. Looked like, let's wait for the players to clear out. It looked like Mike Pigeon getting the call, 5'9", 150 pounds, and a junior.
Brought down by Christian Pond. Lots of 2 on the plate. Brings up second and 12.
This Riverside defensive line, they got size right in the middle. Anthony Lima at 240 pounds. John Greenfield at the inside linebacker, only a sophomore, checks in at 205 pounds. Second and 12 for the Chiefs. Spataro with the football, driving forward to about the 22-yard line of Riverside.
I don't know if Spataro's feeling all that well.
Well, you know, he got banged up in last week's loss at Lake Lehman, and according to the head coach, Dave Pawardzik, he's okay.
He's okay, but somebody was getting sick to their stomach before the game, Steve. I know we saw it. Not to, gross anybody out. It might have been him.
And C.J. Dupree surveys the Viking defense. Dupree, toss play.
And that ball.
Here comes Spataro, strung out, and it looks like no gain on the play.
I know Spataro worried Harry Armstrong before the game. He feels he's one of the best backs, if not the best back in the league.
Yeah, they're definitely going to key on him. He's that go-to guy in the backfield.
A 3-year starter like we touched on. I mean, he is definitely a good back. There's no doubt about that. Everything does run through him.
After his first or second step, he's at full motion. That's for sure, at full speed.
It's sheer power coming at you. As Dupree will face fourth down, and Lakeland will call a timeout. On the Call Spall scoreboard with 6:55 left in the first half, we're scoreless at Lakeland on Adams Cable High School football.
Nick's Excavating and Paving of Carbondale is committed to providing professional service in residential and commercial excavating, land clearing and demolition, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Enhance your property with new paving and seal coating, mulch, or stone. For expert service on your next project, count on Nick's Excavating and Paving Carbondale.
Back at Lakeland Stadium with 6:55 to play in the first quarter. We are scoreless, and Lakeland took a timeout to talk it over as they will face 4th and 4 from the Riverside 22-yard line.
Maybe see a quarterback keep here of some sort.
Oh, just thinking that.
And Dupree, short drop, going for it all, looking, and no flag on the play, and the pass is incomplete.
Good coverage.
He had his tight end.
No, he did. He was wide open.
Sitting right there at the sticks. Right over the middle.
And Lakeland turns the football over on downs, and Riverside will take over from its own 22-yard line.
I have a funny feeling we're going to start airing it out.
What gave that away?
Yeah, I can't figure that out. Didn't move a little bit.
You catch on quick.
Yeah, well, you watch enough of these games, you'll learn something.
Yes, you do.
New prescription there, Glenn?
Or description, prescription.
Here we go with Riverside back on the offensive attack as Gilchrist will step up in the pocket.
Oh, look at this.
Just overthrows Rojas. Diego Rojas was wide open.
Intended for Diego Rojas on the play, falls incomplete.
Lakeland caught a break right there.
Oh, brother, was he open.
Sometimes, it might be hard to put the football on the money when you see a guy that wide open.
Well, he gave him enough to run under it. I just think that...
Yeah, just a little bit too much.
And don't forget, we have a swirling wind here at Lakeland Stadium that really kicked up.
Since that sun's kind of crept down over the hill there, it's...
The flag is...
Not as bad.
Yeah, not as bad. Yeah, you're right. The flag's not moving at all.
2nd down and 10 for the Vikings. And Gilchrist will keep, and this play goes nowhere. Lakeland all over it defensively. Well, Lakeland gave up 8 points to Honesdale on opening night.
Romanowski on a tackle that time.
Brought down by Robert Romanowski and C.J. Dupree.
And last week in a tough contest at Lake Lehman, Chiefs gave up 25 points. Here tonight, trying to hang in there against a very good Riverside Viking offense that have scored 96 points in 2 games. 3rd down and 10 for the Viking offense.
4 receivers to the one side.
Gilchrist rolling out. Looking, fires downfield, and this pass is overthrown. Intended for Rosin Reyes. He was looking for a flag, but it was not to be. And it's 4th down in a punting situation for the Vikings.
Harry Armstrong is going crazy over there. I don't know if that's him, but...
That's him.
There's and I don't see it. He is absolutely correct.
It was a bit uncalled for. I don't think that ball was so overthrown. Now you don't even need to go next. Yeah, he spent it about 40 yards in about 3 seconds there. I know he said he had that shoulder surgery, but there's nothing wrong with his legs.
Well, I'll tell you, his shoulder was up and down. Both of them were going.
And a punting situation for Semyon of Riverside, and ball is dead at the 45-yard line of Lakeland, so that will result in good field position for the Chiefs as they take over with 5 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1 on the Call Spall scoreboard, and we are scoreless between the Chiefs and the Vikings. Great to have you with us tonight for Adams Cable High School football. A lot of other games going on around the area. Dunmore and Carbondale tonight in the Pioneer City.
Carbondale's looking to get on the scoreboard here, Steve. They've been struggling a little bit with their young kids.
And Dupree will take the snap and hand it off. Spataro spins to midfield.
Good effort.
John Greenfield, a sophomore linebacker, on the tackle for the Vikings.
Brought down by Gavin Williams. He had 5 on the play, brings up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, we'll try to get some updates on scores for you in just a moment.
Did Anthony get back from the concession stand yet?
Yeah. Oh, he's back. He's back.
That line was out down to Chapman Lake.
2nd down and 5 for the Chiefs. Spataro again picks up a couple and then is spun down on the play.
As soon as Anthony got to about 20th in line, they saw him coming. They opened the other gate. They knew he was coming.
They did open the gate when they saw him in line.
He's got that carte blanche service there. He gets.
Well, he's a celebrity
he's
here.
He's a preferred member up here.
Yeah, he's give us his play on concession stands maybe halfway through the season when he gets the couple.
3rd down and 3 for the Chiefs in Viking territory at the 48-yard line. Dupree will keep, and a second effort may get him the first down, and it will. Dupree won't go down, and then it takes a team effort to bring him down at the 40.
The quarterback's the biggest kid on the team and the strongest, probably. That's what that gets you.
Well, that second effort paid dividends as Lakeland will sustain the drive with a first down.
Good effort. I mean, you have to really wrap him up. People bouncing off him. He's dragging them.
Well, you can't hit him high. You know
That's
that.
for sure. You can't get up that high to hit him.
He's too strong. We're scoreless with under 4 minutes remaining here in quarter number 1 at Lakeland Stadium. New set of downs for the Chiefs. And we have an official timeout as Dupree has to fix the old.
All right, I'm going to get on the officials here. Now, he saw him.
Here we go.
He saw him that his shoe was off since he got out of the pile. He sat right in front of him. It's obviously an equipment issue.
That's a tough one. That's a long shoelace. I think
those
that's
are probably
that's
size
just 3 knots.
14s or something.
First down for Lakeland. Dupree back to throw with time, going for it all, looking, and there's the flag. It finally came out. Mike Pigeon was the intended receiver, and we'll have pass interference called on Riverside.
But he waited too long to throw that ball. He was open immediately.
Pass interference on the play brings up first down for Lakeland.
Yep. Is that Coach Rebar coming up the stairs there, scouting?
No.
To our right?
To our right. There he is.
Yeah.
That's him.
There's the smile.
That's him. We'll see him September 14th, a week from Saturday, for the Susquehanna Sabres and the Mid-Valley Spartans.
Say it, Glenn, a special Saturday matinee.
Sure, why not?
Spataro with a long toss, and
good
Spataro
cutback.
with nice moves, and then is
here comes the flag in the middle of that pile.
Brought down by Robert Bond on the play. Flag on the play as well.
Looks like face mask. Did I catch that?
Face mask against Riverside.
That's a big penalty called against the Vikings.
First down.
That will give Lakeland an automatic first down. I believe that's their 4th of the ball game. And with the football now spotted at about the 14-yard line, new set of downs for the Chiefs, deep in Viking territory. As we near 3 minutes to play on the Call Spall scoreboard, we're scoreless, but Lakeland looking to hit the end zone deep in Viking territory.
Is that Romanowski?
Lakeland will run the football. Robert Romanowski, the fullback, 6'2" and 200 pounds, trying to go off left tackle.
Robert Bond and Noah Parchinsky.
Well, coming into this ball game, this Viking defense has been tough against the run, giving up only about 4 yards per carry. And right now, Lakeland in good shape with the football, 2nd down and about 8 yards to go from the Viking 12.
And their game plan of running the clock is so far so good.
Dupree to throw with time. Oh, this pass is broken up. Good defense by the Vikings. It was intended for Billy Good. Looked like Sean Torres coming from his corner position.
Yeah, he's doing
defensively.
everything.
That was a tough throw. Real good pass from Dupree, but boy, you really had to thread the needle on that one, Nick, because the coverage was great by the Vikings.
Yeah, it was a dart that he threw, and great coverage by Riverside.
Second down, let's check it. Third down, and about 8 yards to go for the Chiefs. On the running play, here is Spataro, caught as he was heading inside the 5-yard line. Looks like they'll be just short of the first down marker.
Down by Parchinski on the play.
Picked up 8.
Brings up 4th and 1.
A big call right here for Lakeland.
Go back to your bread and butter.
Football is resting on the 4-yard line, 4th and 1 for the Chiefs. Chris Mellon is a wide out on the top of your screen. Billy Good on the near side. Dupree, he'll keep.
Yep.
He's got the first down, and he may have a touchdown, and he does. C.J. Dupree scores on a 4-yard touchdown, and Lakeland has a 6-0 lead.
The flag's
There is
up.
a flag on the play.
And we'll let the officials sort it out. Procedure?
Oh, face mask.
Against Riverside.
Face mask. Okay, so that stands.
And Billy Good
Face mask, touchdown is good.
is on the field for the point after touchdown. Out of the hold of Domenico Spataro. He's a freshman. Low snap. No doubt about this one.
That one.
Jeez, he almost
kicked that out of the stadium.
What a kick by Billy Good. 7-0 Lakeland on Adams Cable High School Football.
At Tom's Floor Shop in Childs, you get a lot more than you'll ever find in your big box stores. Tom, Ronnie, and the staff each have over 30 years' experience providing great floors to homes and businesses in northeastern Pennsylvania. Tom's Floor Shop will style your home in contemporary elegance and classic beauty with a wide variety of name brand carpeting, hardwood, vinyl, ceramic tile, and professional installation. All roads lead to where great floors begin at Tom's Floor Shop, exit 6 off the Casey Highway in Childs. Providing the ultimate in professional service is a tradition at Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Carbondale. For more than 50 years, families in Carbondale and its surrounding area have used our 2 Hospital Street and 74 North Main Street locations for a traditional service, cremation or memorial services, or a service of personal preference. Contact Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated to handle every detail.
7-0 Lakeland as we get set for more action as Billy Good will kick it off to the Riverside Vikings. Face mask penalty was assessed against Lakeland, or against Riverside, on the kickoff, and Billy Good is able to drill that kickoff right into the end zone for a touchback. The football will come out to the 20-yard line, and the Vikings will be set to work from that point, trailing Lakeland 7-0 with 1:28 remaining here in quarter number 1.
Heck of a foot. Oh, he boomed that one.
Western Wayne with a 7-0 lead over Honesdale in the first quarter.
At the old Wayne Pike Shrine Bowl?
Yes, it is going on tonight at Western Wayne. And the Vikings trailing Lakeland. And now from the 20-yard line, Riverside will go to work. Gilchrist will fire the pass on the far side. Ball is loose. Was it fumbled out of bounds?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Who came up and laid that stick?
Completion on the play by Gilchrist. Mike Pigeon knocked the ball loose. Brings up the second down.
Well, anyway, it results in a gain of about 8 yards on the play.
Worked out in
2nd and 2.
Riverside's favor, sure.
Yes, it did. Anthony Lima will lead the Vikings to the line of scrimmage. Gilchrist back to throw, rushes on, and he was forced to unload under pressure.
Good.
And it's incomplete. Good job by Lakeland putting the heat on Gilchrist.
Looked like they tried to set up a screen, but Lakeland had it very well covered.
7-0 Lakeland with 1:17 remaining here in quarter number 1 on the Call Spall scoreboard. On 3rd down and about 2, Gilchrist out of the gun. He'll fire the pass on the far side. They've got the first down. Diego Rojas on the reception, I believe.
Yep.
That's a first down for the Vikings.
He is quick, though, and he gets the ball in his hands.
New set of downs for Riverside. Gilchrist will keep. Big hole for him, and he will turn it upfield and is very close to a first down. Picked up about 9 on that carry.
First down. Good.
Yeah, he had, if he kept that coming to the outside to the left here, he had some room.
Now the Vikings sustain the drive with the first down as we have 34 seconds remaining in quarter number 1, and Gilchrist will keep again, and he will have another first down. Back-to-back first downs by the Vikings, and now they are in Lakeland territory with the football at the 42-yard line.
Well, if it's there, run it.
Clock will start with 19 seconds to play here in quarter number 1. Vikings will hand it off. Jaworski takes the handoff and advances the football to the 40-yard line of Lakeland, and that will bring an end to quarter number 1 here at Lakeland Stadium, with the Chiefs leading the Vikings 7-0 here on Adams Cable High School Football. Your local Napa dealer, Carbondale Auto Parts, has been serving the area for over 38 years with quality automotive replacement parts, tools, and accessories. Experience the Napa know-how difference with great service you've come to know and trust from the staff at Carbondale Auto Parts. Your Napa know-how folks.
Napa know-how, Napa know-how, Napa know-how, Napa know-how.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now uses 7 wireless devices a day, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 120 megabits per second internet from Adams Cable Service. It's a speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
Back at Lakeland Stadium, set for second quarter action between the Vikings and the Chiefs, with Lakeland leading 7-0 over the Riverside Vikings on a 4-yard touchdown run by C.J. Dupree. And the extra point by Billy Good. This handoff will go to Jaworski, and he goes off left tackle for a short gain on the play. So thus far, pretty good football game between the Vikings and the Chiefs. And right now, with Riverside in Lakeland territory, they will face third down and 5 yards to go. Gilchrist in the pocket, rushes on. This pass is picked off. Picked off by Dupree, and Dupree drives to the 45-yard line.
I don't know how you missed him. He was, wow.
Pressure's applied by Robert Romanowski on the play.
That is a huge defensive play for Lakeland.
They dropped the end in the coverage there. That's how he picked that off.
Yeah.
Wow. Now Lakeland playing some great defense thus far in the first half of this ball game.
How often do you see two quarterbacks go head-to-head like two Rams?
That doesn't happen too often.
Wow.
From the 46 of Riverside, it's Lakeland on the offensive attack. And the Chiefs want a timeout.
Nope. Riverside.
Riverside wants a timeout, excuse me. We'll keep it right here. And remind you, this Adams Cable Sports presentation of high school football is brought to you by the Comfort Doctors, T.E. Spall & Son. When you have cooling, heating, or plumbing problems, just call Spall. By Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center. They are the guys that will make your automobile look like showroom condition. If you have a fender bender or a major accident, take it to Beston's. You will have your vehicle put back to showroom conditions. They are the true professionals. NJS Systems and Controls, Route 6 Mayfield, for experience, dependability, and 24-hour service. Also brought to you today by Nick's Excavating and Paving. Very, very busy right now with the great fall weather, but there's still plenty of time remaining for you to get that job done, so give Nick a call. Tom's Floor Shop, your first step to a beautiful home, Main Street Childs. Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services of Carbondale, and by your local Napa Auto Parts store, Carbondale Auto Parts. First down and 10 for Lakeland from the Riverside 46 with the Chiefs leading 7-0. It is C.J. Dupree handing it off to Spataro, and he is caught for no gain on the play.
Giovanni Spataro on a carry, brought down the backfield by Jaworski.
Good penetration by Riverside's line. Spataro never really had an opportunity to get going on that play.
Lackawanna Trail leads Montrose by the score of 14-0 on the Call Spall scoreboard. Dunmore with a 7-0 lead over Carbondale in the first quarter. North Pocono and Scranton deadlocked at 7 in the first quarter. Valley View with a 14-0 first quarter lead over West Scranton. 2nd and 11 for the Chiefs. Dupree, toss play on the option. Spataro strung out, and Lakeland will lose even more yardage to the 49-yard line. And Giovanni Spataro took a pretty good hit at the end of that play, but I believe he's okay.
Get rid of that option.
That option, it
slow developing.
It wasn't a very good pitch either.
You don't have option personnel.
Two minutes gone by here in quarter number 2 at Lakeland, and the Chiefs leading Riverside 7-0. They will look down the barrel of third down and 13 yards to go from the Viking 49.
Get a timeout.
And they will want to talk it over once again as we go to a break on Adams Cable High School Football.
Too hot? Just call Spall. Too cold? Just call Spall. T.E. Spall & Son, where you'll always get our upfront pricing. Plus, now through Wednesday, own a new energy-saving AC system for just $2.84 a day with our exclusive guarantee. Plus, get 0% financing.
We called Spall, and not only do we save a lot of money,
But they're a name that you can trust. They get the job done fast, and they get it done right.
Just call Spall or see us now at callspall.com.
No one likes to think about it, but auto accidents happen. If you're in an accident, call the professionals at Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale to return your vehicle back to showroom condition. Beston's Collision Center has been committed to excellence by providing the highest quality, state-of-the-art repairs and exceptional customer service. At Beston's, their motto is, every job is perfect or it doesn't leave the shop. Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale. Their name says it all.
Back at Lakeland Stadium, third down play coming up. Third down and 13 for Lakeland. As Dupree will drop back, and Dupree steps up, fires downfield, and this pass could have been picked off. Yeah, Chris Mellon was the intended receiver, but boy, that pass was thrown in an area where there were a lot of defenders from Riverside.
Thank God it was thrown in the middle of all of them.
Yes. Punting situation for Lakeland and Billy Good.
The black Jeep and a red Jeep, JYX 5481. If you have a Jeep, it's likely that the lights are out.
What was that license number, Nick? BR549?
I have no idea. It's likely your lights are on. Either there are or there aren't. Right?
Here's the punt by Billy Good, and it's a dandy to the 20-yard line of the Riverside Vikings.
Why do people on the return game just want to get next to the ball when it's getting blown dead?
I
never understood.
Traditionally, it was if you're not going to return it, get away from it. Yeah.
Well, the boy from Lakeland did it, and
it's in every team that I've seen, even in college. Who are you fooling? You're only going to get lit up.
Well, we saw it in the Old Forge game, and it resulted in a touchdown. Right?
Yeah, but not advised. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure Coach Schuback was like, "What are you doing? Oh, great job."
Yeah.
Yeah. Or in basketball, don't shoot a nice shot.
Yeah. First down and 10 for the Vikings.
Nice.
As they keep the football on the ground, and Lakeland is right there defensively.
That was Alexander Jaworski on a carry, brought down by Chase Nolan on the play. Loss of 1 on the play brings up 2nd and 11.
Three minutes gone by here in quarter number 2. On the Call Spall scoreboard, and Lakeland leads Riverside 7-0.
Yeah, look at they are.
It is 2nd down and 11 for the Vikings. Gilchrist will look to keep the football, and then he is dropped on the play. It looked like Dupree making the tackle.
Yeah, it was Dupree.
Well, not only does C.J. Dupree run the offense, but also plays pretty good defensively. He's lining up at left end. 6'5", 245 pounds, and a junior, and he is solid.
Well, and they say he has some major offers already. Nick and you.
Some schools are looking at him.
Well, this is the year to decide. I mean,
3rd down and 11. Riverside from its own 19-yard line.
Yep, he's gone.
Gilchrist flushed out of the pocket. Dupree drops him for a loss.
That should be either intentional grounding or a fumble.
Intentional grounding, I believe. That's what the call looks like.
My guess is he's going to say he was down.
Yeah, he's down.
Okay. Well, Dupree was all over that play defensively. Well, are you surprised by the Lakeland defense, guys?
I am surprised they're getting the kind of pressure they are, especially since that first drive we saw Riverside basically just get chunks of yardage.
I like the idea. I mean, their game plan is perfect. They're running the ball, throwing it only when they have to. And
Ryan Semyon with a great punt. It will bounce at the 40. Billy Good is going to let it roll.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Now, Nick, you were an assistant coach, is that correct?
I tried to be.
For Lakeland, is that correct?
For Lakeland and Lackawanna Trail, yes.
Do you miss it?
Not at all.
I think we went over this a little bit earlier, didn't we? In another conversation, right?
I can watch games right now. I enjoy that.
Yes. It is difficult being a coach. I mean, you have to put a lot of time into it. People don't see actually what happens, all of the time you put in watching film, on the field with practice. It's a very long year.
All the logistical things. And, it is a big decision to go, too. It's not an easy one to make.
Lakeland with the football. Dupree will keep, and he is going to sprint along the near sideline and keep the football, and then Dupree is cut down at the 48-yard line. A lot of running for a short gain. Gain of a couple on the play.
But he holds that football like it's a baseball in his hand.
If that was me, I would have lost that thing after about 2 yards.
Out of because your hands are too small,
Yes,
or out of fright?
Well, both, actually. Mostly out of fright. But if I didn't have that football tucked in, I would definitely lose it. Second and 7 for Lakeland. Spataro takes the toss. Nice run to the 47-yard line.
I like the way he cuts back and it just waits for that hole to open up.
Big third down here.
Gain of 4 on the play.
If you're Lakeland, you want to pick up this first down, keep this clock running under 6 minutes.
Sure.
And they're in no hurry to get the play in.
Well, clock management, that's what Lakeland planned to do. Keep the offense on the field and out of the hands of the Riverside Viking offense. And they will keep the football on the ground. Mike Pigeon with the football and a first down for the Chiefs at the 35-yard line.
Touchdown saving tackle by Jaworski on the play.
Definitely a good game plan by Lakeland coming in.
Got an injured Riverside Viking.
So we will go to a quick break. Well, hold on, we're going to keep it right here as the injured player is on his feet on the far side of the field. Let's check that number, Nick. Is that 18?
It looks like 18 for me.
We'll wait till he turns, and if it is, that is Sean Torres.
Yeah, it is. That is 18, looks like it from here.
Harry Armstrong with a lot of positive comments about Sean Torres when we talked to him before the game. He's a senior, 5'11", 155 pounds. He will have to come out of the football game for at least one play. 7-0 Lakeland with 5:30 to play here in the first half. New set of downs for the Chiefs from the Viking 35. Valley View in front of West Scranton in the first quarter, 21-0. And Lakeland running the football straight ahead to the 33.
Michael Pigeon on a carry brought down by Christian Pond.
On the Call Spall scoreboard, North Pocono with a 14-7 second quarter lead over Scranton. Honesdale losing to Western Wayne 14-0. That's a second quarter score. As Lakeland will face 2nd and 8 from the Viking 33-yard line. Dupree on the toss play, coming near side. Pigeon dragged down. Great defensive play by the Riverside Vikings. Christian Pond, the linebacker, came up to make the tackle.
No gain on the play, brings up 3rd and 8.
Third down play, so defensively, Riverside will make some changes right now. On 3rd down and 8 for Lakeland in Viking territory at the 33-yard line.
Lakeland's going to take a timeout here.
Yeah, they need to talk it over.
Timeout, Chiefs.
And we'll keep it right here. More high school football coming up on Saturday, September 14th. A Saturday afternoon game from Mid-Valley when we will travel down to Mid-Valley for Susquehanna and the Mid-Valley Spartans.
You know, somebody asked me, why are they playing that in the afternoon? Is there some kind of event going on a Friday?
Don't really know. I think what they are going to do is they may be celebrating 50 seasons of football at Mid-Valley. And from what I understand, they may bring back a lot of the players who played over the years. And I don't know if that's the real reason why they're doing it, but it's a Saturday afternoon game. So
yeah, it was on the schedule that way from the start. So.
Wow, I was there in Mid-Valley back in those days when they first started football. I got there in January of '70, so it was actually after the first year of football, but the second. They had some good kids. Just the program was just starting though, and boy, it'd be nice to see some of those guys back. It was the first couple of kids I ever coached.
And they had a big win last week over Dunmore. 3rd down and 8 for Lakeland. And Dupree, under pressure, fires downfield, looking for Billy Good, overthrows him.
Pass intended for Billy Good on the play.
He made that look easy with that. Look, it was like a little flick of his wrist.
Boy, how about Dupree, though? Guys, back in the pocket and the rush was on. He's eluded one tackler and then just fired the ball downfield.
Yeah, it's almost like he's just toying with some of these guys. You know, some guys you'd see get happy feet, but when you're the biggest guy in the field, you stand tall in there and you just let it fly.
On 4th down and 8, Lakeland will bring its punting unit onto the field as Billy Good will be set to kick it away. Low snap. Relatively short kick with a lot of hang time. Bouncing around.
Oh.
And it will roll inside the 5-yard line.
Just like he planned it.
Billy Good's punt.
That will pin Riverside deep in its own territory with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in first half action and a low-scoring game with the Chiefs on top 7-0.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in the stadium really expected it to be a 7-0 game at this point.
No, not with the way Riverside was putting points on the board, and Lakeland, you know, with their running game that we all knew was a good one.
Of course, talking with head coach Harry Armstrong, he felt that this was the first real true test for his football team here tonight.
He did say that.
He said, you know, you're going to be in a contest where you're going to be hit and, you know, you're going to be in a game. And he wants to see how they're going to respond. Thus far, Lakeland has done a good job defensively and primarily because of field position.
Yep.
1st down and 10 for the Vikings as they will operate from their own 3-yard line. Gilchrist to throw, and there's no one out there. It was intended for Diego Rojas, but I think there was a mix-up in the pattern that he was going to run. And the pass falls incomplete.
If you're Riverside, you'd like to maybe run that ball, let that clock run, because I think Lakeland, Lakeland used 3 timeouts already.
Well, the other thing, too, is you don't want to risk a sack or something.
Yeah, it doesn't make that doesn't make any sense, but I've seen Harry Armstrong do some things in the past, Nick. Wouldn't surprise anybody.
No.
2nd and 10 for the Vikings.
Yep, false start now.
Wow.
It's only half a distance to the goal penalty, but still.
Delay game on the offense. Half the distance to the goal.
Second down, Gilchrist will keep. Turning it upfield, and then is tackled near the 12-yard line.
Keeps it up the middle, brought down by Shane Barrett on the play.
And Shane Barrett making the tackle for Lakeland. A junior, 5'9" and 190 pounds. Riverside with a hurry-up offense as Gilchrist will keep the football and runs into a wall of defenders.
Gilchrist again on a carry.
They got a 4th down here.
Dunmore with a 14-0 second quarter lead over Carbondale on the Calls Ball scoreboard. 7-0 right here. Lakeland, your leader, as we near 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Going for it on 4th and 2, huh?
And Vikings call a timeout. That was close.
Real close.
Boy, you can't cut that any closer. I know that. We'll keep it right here for the timeout.
Well, he might have just did that to send his punting unit out, knowing the Lakeland has no timeouts.
Well, that plus the fact that you try to run as much as time off the clock, but boy, that was close. Didn't really take a look at the sideline. Was coach standing right next to the official?
He was out. Yes, he was close. Harry Armstrong in his 7th season, back as head coach of the Riverside Vikings with a career mark of 56 wins and 23 losses. Enjoying every minute of it.
No, he was.
Can't believe it's been 9 years already since they've been to the state final.
Wow, yeah, time goes quickly.
Wow.
Boy, and they did have a 24-0 lead in that game.
Yeah,
and they tried to get a little extra in just before half.
Yes.
And that hurt them. Changed the momentum of that game.
2nd down and long for Riverside.
That's another false start.
And the flags come out.
Yeah, here comes the punting unit now. I made that decision easy.
Yes. Wow, what a crowd for this ball game. Take a look. Fans are lined up around the chain link fence here at the stadium.
It's like old times up here.
A lot of fans from Riverside on the far sideline, and Vikings will punt the football. Semyon to boot it away, and a fair catch is called for at the 35-yard line by Lakeland. Wow, you wonder if that was Mike Pigeon. You wonder if Pigeon caught that football and took off with it, because I didn't see too many defenders nearby.
That was a line drive kick. It got to him quickly.
That's the kind you want to return.
Yeah. Well, that was probably pre-planned already. Soon as it goes up, call for it, stop the clock, and plenty of time.
And with the football resting on the Viking 36, the Chiefs have 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in first half action.
And there's no wind right now, so, I mean, if you get 20, 25 yards here, you might have a field goal attempt.
With the foot, what he showed down the other end into the wind, it was the other way. With the
and Dupree will keep the football and falls forward for a short gain to the 35-yard line.
Brought down by Gavin Williams on the play. Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9.
Well, Lakeland definitely in no hurry here, but they would like to put some more points on the board and get the ball second half here.
Clock at 1:38 and counting, as Lakeland will face 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Dupree with the low snap, fires it incomplete, intended for Billy Good. Yeah, low snap from center. Boy, you put Dupree at third base, he would handle that with ease, right? Did a good job handling that low snap. Incompletion will stop the clock with $1:25 remaining here in the first half, and Lakeland leading 7-0.
I actually think he had more time than he thought he did on that. He could have probably got that out to Good out in the flat there and maybe picked up about 5 yards.
Here's Dupree with some time, and the pass on the far side.
It's caught, no good.
Incomplete.
Dupree's pass intended for Billy Good on the play.
Well, a quick moving first half of football here at Lakeland. 4th down, and the punting unit will come back on for the Chiefs.
Well, Riverside did a great job defending that time because they didn't lose too much time. And they didn't move the ball at all, Lakeland, on that possession. So, never know.
Colin Kloss, Walton getting back quickly to get on the line.
Might need him.
Billy Good just gets it away.
Yeah,
this looks like Torres lost the football. Players battle for it. We'll find out who has it.
Good punt, fumbled.
Now, is there a flag?
There was a flag roughing the kicker, I believe. You can't have it both ways here, Nick, right? You can't. Well, they won't attack.
Well, you'll decline the penalty.
You'll decline the penalty, sure, and take the ball. But
There's a flag.
being that was roughing, does that have anything to do with adding more yardage to that?
No. You'll decline that penalty and take the play.
Take the field position, right?
Right. You accept the play, then they don't fumble. You play it over again.
There's a call.
Just asking because it's the crazy rules that they have.
Is official got to run back and get his hanky or no? Holy smokes.
First and goal.
Timeout is called by Riverside, and we'll keep it here.
Timeout Riverside.
So another opportunity, guys, for Lakeland with 1:11 remaining here in first half action, and the Chiefs leading 7-0. Football on the 10-yard line, first down for Lakeland.
I doubt you're going to see the ball in the air on this possession.
Now you're going to see probably Spatero, a lot of Giovanni Spatero. Maybe even C.J. Dupree, the way he runs the football. As the Chiefs and the Vikings talk things over during the timeout, we'll go on the Call Spall scoreboard, and Lackawanna trail with a 40-0 second quarter lead over Montrose.
Oh my goodness. Did they just get caught on a bad date on the Northwest, or are they pretty good?
That's unofficial, of course, but Western Wayne's second quarter lead over Honesdale 27-14.
That's one of those rival games, though. That's a blood and guts type of game.
First down for Lakeland from the Riverside 10-yard line. Dupree back to throw. They're going to throw it, but it's underthrown, intended for Billy Good.
Great pass intended for Billy Good on the play. Coverage by Jay Collins.
Well, in this quarter, Dupree is 0 for 4, and some of those passes, I think he might be rushing them a little bit. They're not even close.
Mike Pigeon will check in with the play from the near sideline, and head coach Dave Pawarczyk. Chris Mellon is wide on the top of your screen. Pigeon on the near side. Dupree will toss the football to Spatero, and Spatero makes a great cut heading for the end zone, and he has the touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown for Giovanni Spatero, and Lakeland is out to a 13-0 advantage.
Made a nice cut, nice spin move as he got hit.
Good instincts on the football field when he has the football in his hands, as Billy Good will attempt the point after touchdown.
Ooh.
Hooked it.
It got
and
through.
It's good.
Oh, wow.
Wow. 14-0. Lakeland, your leader on Adams Cable High School football.
What does it mean to be an expert? Does it mean getting the job done right? Or being able to pinpoint a problem and quickly find a solution? Whatever the meaning, the team at NJS are your experts in hydraulic and pneumatic components. So whether you need a custom hose built on the spot or a cylinder repaired from the ground up, the experts at NJS are there when you need them. And with the area's largest hose and fittings warehouse, NJS has thousands of the parts you need in stock and ready to go. NJS, Route 6 Mayfield, online at njsco.com. NJS is proud to call this area home and proud to sponsor our area athletes on Adams Cable Channel 7. Mix Excavating and Paving of Carbondale is committed to providing professional service in residential and commercial excavating, land clearing and demolition, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Enhance your property with new paving and seal coating, mulch, or stone. For expert service on your next project, count on Mix Excavating and Paving Carbondale.
Here's the kickoff by Billy Good. Line drive shot will go out of bounds.
Trying to get too cute. They're going to get in the ball at the 35-yard line here.
With 58 seconds to play in the first half here at Lakeland Stadium. Great to have you with us tonight.
Oh, re-kick it.
Wasn't that the Dunmore game a couple of years ago, Nick? Mm-hmm. Ball kept going out of bounds, and Dunmore, where was Dunmore? Back inside their own 20?
Oh, I think they were kicking out from the 5.
Billy Good will do it again from his own 35-yard line. And here, line drive kick bouncing around from the 21-yard line on the return. Rosin Reyes for Riverside at the 31.
Should have took the penalty. They lost 5 yards on that.
Yeah, it's always a gamble, right?
Hindsight's always 20/20. That's why we're sitting up here.
You're sitting? You have a chair up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, we are in the booth. And Glenn Muskowski and producer Anthony Cook, and of course, Nick is on the roof doing the filming for Frankie Carl Productions. So Nick is in the weather, no matter if it's raining, snowing, wind, you name it. We have the luxury of being inside.
He's better than a mailman.
First down and 10 from the 31-yard line for the Vikings. Gilchrist, with time, will fire the pass out, and it's incomplete, but this could be pass interference. Let's wait for
this
the
came from
word.
over here, though.
What is this guy going to call, though?
Let's wait for the official word as...
Flag on the play as well.
Ineligible downfield, all right. Could have been that far off-field.
Well, Nick, just when I said a quick-moving ball game, that had tacked on 10 extra minutes here.
Well, when you're throwing the ball like
yes.
Both teams have been doing, really, it's going to add time, especially if they're incompletions.
First and 15 for Riverside after the penalty. And Gilchrist fires downfield, and what a grab by Rosin Reyes. 6'2", 180-pound senior. Tight coverage by Lakeland, but Reyes came up with the pass. New set of downs for the Vikings from the 46-yard line of Riverside. Plenty of time yet, 35 seconds. We'll see if Gilchrist will go long right here. Rushes on, Gilchrist throws off his back foot, and it is intercepted by Lakeland. Mike Pigeon came up with it.
Take a knee, going into halftime.
Yep, sure.
Great grab. Now, that's 3 turnovers for Riverside. What do we say in the beginning of the game?
Yep.
Turnovers are huge.
And last week, Lakeland made a lot of mistakes in that ball game against Lake Lehman, but here in the first half of this ball game, their defense has played well. And Lakeland offensively has taken advantage of field position. And right here, with 25 seconds left, Lakeland will approach the line of scrimmage, leading by the score of 14-0. And Dupree will work out of the gun. And they're not going to take a knee. He wants to pass. No one is in the vicinity.
Oh.
Romanowski, I believe, was the closest possible receiver, along with Chris Mellon. And with 21 seconds left, they'll do it again.
Don't understand why you would do something like that. Just be happy.
Well, you don't want to run the risk of a pick.
Sure.
Turn for a touchdown, anything.
Just dropping the ball or something.
This time, Dupree will take a knee.
Delay a game.
Delay of game? Yeah, the flag did come out. Penalty will move the football to the 40-yard line. Lakeland once again in a tight formation as they approach the football. And the clock will start. Hold on, we have another whistle, guys.
Wow, I think they're starting to read the book, Nick.
Oh, they started the clock. The clock operator started the clock.
Okay, 20.4 seconds to play. Time remaining in the first half. This time, Dupree will take a knee, and that will do it as the final seconds tick away here in first half action, as Lakeland and Riverside will head to the locker room for halftime with the Chiefs leading by the score of 14-0. We'll be right back with more from Lakeland after this timeout on Adams Cable High School Football.
Mix Excavating and Paving of Carbondale is committed to providing professional service in residential and commercial excavating, land clearing and demolition, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Enhance your property with new paving and seal coating, mulch, or stone. For expert service on your next project, count on Mix Excavating and Paving Carbondale.
Too hot? Just call Spall. Too cold? Just call Spall. TE Spall and Son, where you'll always get our upfront pricing. Plus, now through Wednesday, own a new energy-saving AC system for just $2.84 a day with our exclusive guarantee. Plus, get 0% financing.
We called Spall, and not only do we save a lot of money,
But they're a name that you can trust. They get the job done fast, and they get it done right.
Just call Spall or see us now at callspall.com.
Now's the time to unleash the internet. With Adams Cable Service, you get internet with speeds up to 120 megs. It's the speed you need that blows the doors off of DSL. Connect all of your devices, including iPads and other tablets, game consoles, smartphones, and computers. Upload and share photos and videos instantly. Stream HD movies in a flash and experience online gaming like never before. Call Adams Cable Service today at 1-888-222-0077 and get internet with speeds up to 120 megs.
At At Tom's Floor Shop in Childs, you get a lot more than you'll ever find in your big box stores. Tom, Ronnie, and the staff each have over 30 years experience providing great floors to homes and businesses in northeastern Pennsylvania. Tom's Floor Shop will style your home in contemporary elegance and classic beauty with a wide variety of name brand carpeting, hardwood, vinyl, ceramic tile, and professional installation. All roads lead to where great floors begin at Tom's Floor Shop, exit 6 off the Casey Highway in Childs. Providing the ultimate in professional service is a tradition at Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Carbondale. For more than 50 years, families in Carbondale and its surrounding area have used our 2 Hospital Street and 74 North Main Street locations for a traditional service, cremation or memorial services, or a service of personal preference. Contact Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated to handle every detail.
Well, we're finally set for action here at Lakeland Stadium. Third quarter about to get underway with Lakeland leading Riverside 14-0. The Lakeland Chiefs will receive the third quarter kickoff as Ryan Semyon will tee it up at his own 40-yard line.
Ryan Semyon teeing it up for Riverside. Michael Pigeon is the deep back for Lakeland.
And here is the kickoff to start quarter number 3 at Lakeland Stadium. That is a sidewinder bouncing around. It's picked up at about the 10-yard line. And good return for Lakeland, and that looks like Billy Good, and he may go all the way.
Nobody going to catch him.
And that will be an 80-yard kickoff return.
Wow.
How about that? 20-0 Lakeland. You talk about getting momentum to start the second half. That's the way you do it.
I guess so. Wow.
I think everybody was shocked by that.
I'm certainly one of them. He just kind of nonchalantly picked that ball up and just looked like he was going to mosey up.
And he possesses great speed also.
Yeah.
Once he got the football, he just took right off along that far sideline.
Got to be kidding me.
Well, for Lakeland, they are rolling right now. We talked about Billy Good. He does everything. He kicks, punts, returns kickoffs.
What was that? What in the world was that? There too many men on the field. Oh, boy. Too many men on the field, so he just ran out the back of the end zone. You can't do that.
Yeah. Well,
you can't hide behind the goalpost. It's not going to work.
Especially when there's 2 officials standing back there. They might be blind as bats, but.
Oh, boy. Low snap, flags.
Flag on the play.
Well, we got off to a great start on the kickoff return by Billy Good.
Well, if anything, this is benefiting Billy Good because he's probably winded from 85 or 90 yards.
I'll tell you, he didn't waste much time getting ahead of that hole.
For 2, he got it. Could be with the 1 foot line.
Well, now with Lakeland, after the penalties and the ball half the distance to the goal line, Lakeland will try for 2, leading 20-0. Well, does Dupree get the call right here, guys? Make Pigeon a late arrival to the lineup. Dupree will get the call. And I'm not. Yes, he has the 2-point conversion. And with 11:45 remaining in the third quarter here on the Call Spall scoreboard, Lakeland is out to a 22-0 lead over Riverside on Adams Cable High School football.
No one likes to think about it, but auto accidents happen. If you're in an accident, call the professionals at Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale to return your vehicle back to showroom condition. Beston's Collision Center has been committed to excellence by providing the highest quality, state-of-the-art repairs and exceptional customer service. At Beston's, their motto is, every job is perfect or it doesn't leave the shop. Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale. Their name says it all. What does it mean to be an expert? Does it mean getting the job done right? Or being able to pinpoint a problem and quickly find a solution? Whatever the meaning, the team at NJS are your experts in hydraulic and pneumatic components. So whether you need a custom hose built on the spot or a cylinder repaired from the ground up, the experts at NJS are there when you need them. And with the area's largest hose and fittings warehouse, NJS has thousands of the parts you need in stock and ready to go. NJS Route 6 Mayfield, online at njsco.com. NJS is proud to call this area home and proud to sponsor our area athletes on Adams Cable Channel 7.
By Reyes, and Reyes nowhere to go on the return.
Nope.
Great special teams play by Lakeland, and the Vikings will set up shop and operate from their own 22 with the football first down and 10. Trailing by the score of 22-0.
Well, you're going to see the ball in the air.
This game could last forever now. With the way he can pass the ball, though, they can get right back into this game. Lakeland still has to play that good, solid defense.
Well, they're going to have to continue to make Gilchrist uncomfortable in the pocket. That's what they did in the first half. And right here, they'll go with a reverse. And Torres will take it around the far side, tries to reverse his field, and then is decked.
Good coverage.
That looked like Shane Barrett right there on the coverage for Lakeland. Well, on the Call Spall scoreboard, third quarter, Dunmore out to a 21-0 advantage over Carbondale area. And players shaken up on the far side. Yeah, that looked like Torres.
I just think he's got a...
So he has to come out of the ball game.
No, I think he had a shoe problem.
Shoe?
Yeah, that's all it was, yeah. It was Reyes that I think had the problem.
And Gilchrist goes to Rojas.
Wow.
Oh, the defense is right there for Lakeland, and they are pumped up.
Yep. Comes 15.
And the flag.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the play.
Yeah, that's something that, you're playing well, and your defense really has the advantage right now. So you want to keep that pressure on. And for Riverside, they're going to have to find a way to get on track right here.
Everything is going wrong for them. They're starting to panic a little bit. Lakeland's putting some pressure on them.
22-0 the Chiefs, with just about 2 minutes gone by third quarter. Third down and 25, the Vikings from their own 7. Little pass out in the flat, and Lakeland is right there to shut Riverside down on the reception. That was Jay Kohler wearing number 22.
Brought down by Shane Barrett and Michael Pigeon on the play. Brings up fourth down.
So the way this Lakeland defense is playing, guys, they should get good field position when they get the football back, as it's a punting situation for the Vikings right here. Semyon with the kick, and this is a good one. Fair catch is called for by Lakeland and Mike Pigeon. And the Chiefs will go to work in Riverside territory with the football at the 39-yard line.
Yep.
Semyon's punt goes out to the 39-yard line. It's going to be first and 10 for the Chiefs.
Lakeland's got all the momentum. They take one in now. you could say this game could be just about over with all the momentum they have going and they're doing everything right, and Riverside seems to be just falling apart down there.
Lakeland first down and 10. As Dupree will have an I formation in the backfield. And they will hand it off to the tailback. That was Grisbowski, I believe.
Bullock? Bullock, was that 23?
23?
Yep.
I have, I'm sorry, Bullock. Jaron Bullock, sophomore, getting the call for the Chiefs. And Billy Good, wide on the top of your screen. Chris Mellon is wide on the near side. And there's a toss play to Mike Pigeon, and he's caught in the backfield.
Mike Pigeon on a carry. That was again Keith Line darting through the line for the tackle. Loss of 6 on the play, brings up 3rd and 16.
3rd down and long for Lakeland. As we near 8 minutes remaining here in third quarter action at Lakeland Stadium. Week number 3 of high school football. You know, this game could go a long way as to see who is going to be a contender in the Lackawanna Football Conference Division 3, and we have a delay of game on Lakeland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delay game on the play.
Both of these teams were favored to win the division in Lackawanna Football Conference Division 3 action. But it's a long season, as we mentioned, coming up. Lakeland will be at Hanover area. They will have Dunmore, also Mid-Valley at PNC Field, Old Forge, Montrose, Northwest. As Dupree will drop back to throw, eludes a tackler, rushes on, and he's decked at the 41-yard line for a huge loss on the play. Alex Jaworski made the tackle, and Dupree shaken up. Well, he's going to come off the field walking a little bit gingerly, not too happy with that play. Well, guys, sometimes you have to know when to give it up.
Well, that was.
He was under a lot of pressure right there.
In good speed, they caught him pretty easily that time.
4th down play, that will bring on Billy Good to punt for Lakeland. Dupree seems to be okay on the near sideline.
Yep.
And here is a ball that is fumbled, and Lakeland special teams with Mike Pigeon leading the way. Drops Torres.
Flag here, Nick. Steve, I think
Billy Good.
He's down. Yeah.
Is it an automatic first time?
I would think, right?
Personal foul, roughing the kicker.
And with 7:15 remaining here in the third quarter, Lakeland leads it 22-0, but Billy Good is down on the field being attended to. And while we have the opportunity, try to update you on some scores from around the area here on the Cole Spall scoreboard. Western Wayne leading Honesdale, third quarter score 41-16. Dunmore still out in front of the Chargers, 21-0 in the third. And Billy Good is up, but see if he's going to be okay, being helped off the field. Yeah, he's definitely shaken up. Needs some help to come to the near sideline, so hopefully he will be okay. They cannot afford to lose him because he is definitely a key factor in this for this Lakeland football team.
You need him more as a corner right now. So you got 1st and 10.
That is Riverside's 9th penalty,
Oh,
and we're
that
not
hurts.
even. We're just about halfway through the third quarter.
After the penalty, Lakeland will go to work from the Viking 43. Dupree, toss play, pigeon, hemmed in, and cut down. Viking defense right there. Gavin Thomas led the way from his outside linebacker position to make the tackle.
Tackle by Colin Rowe on the play.
The Viking defense has got some good penetration this half.
Jacob Curcio, wearing number 34, checks into the Lakeland lineup. And on 2nd down and 14 for Lakeland, Dupree to throw. Miscommunication right there.
Dupree's pass intended for Mellon.
It was intended for Mellon. Incomplete.
Coverage on the play by
Well, we talked about new head coach Dave Pawarczyk in his first year taking over for Jeff Wasilchak. Jeff is at the game tonight, guys. We were able to chat with Jeff a little bit.
Didn't get much out of him.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Keeps it close to the vest.
Well, we see Spatero on the sideline right here.
3rd down and 14.
Wow. There is just so much miscommunication here.
Just get back to your basics.
Yep.
We will go to a break with the score. Lakeland 22, Riverside nothing on Adams Cable.
Mix Excavating and Paving of Carbondale is committed to providing professional service in residential and commercial excavating, land clearing and demolition, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Enhance your property with new paving and seal coating, mulch, or stone. For expert service on your next project, count on Mix Excavating and Paving Carbondale. At Tom's Floor Shop in Childs, you get a lot more than you'll ever find in your big box stores. Tom, Ronnie, and the staff each have over 30 years' experience providing great floors to homes and businesses in northeastern Pennsylvania. Tom's Floor Shop will style your home in contemporary elegance and classic beauty with a wide variety of name brand carpeting, hardwood, vinyl, ceramic tile, and professional installation. All roads lead to where great floors begin at Tom's Floor Shop, exit 6 off the Casey Highway in Childs.
It is 3rd down and 14 for Lakeland, and a mix-up in the backfield, and Dupree will take a sack. Bit of a collision with Pigeon in the backfield there, and it's going to bring up 4th down, and Lakeland will have to punt it away.
Guys, if you were just coming to this game, didn't look at the scoreboard, who would you think is winning this game?
Well, in the 3rd quarter, you would, if there was no score on the board, you would think that Riverside was because of the way they're putting the pressure on Lakeland right now.
Lakeland looks just so out of sync, it's unbelievable.
I don't know what happened.
Shane Barrett will be in punt formation, I believe, for Lakeland. Barrett wears number 4. As we have 5.5 minutes remaining here in 3rd quarter action, Barrett gets away a great kick. And this ball is fumbled and it's loose. I believe Riverside will keep it.
That's the 3rd punt that was fumbled by Riverside today? Yep.
Change of possession with 5:21 left in the 3rd quarter, 22-0 Lakeland.
Noah Parchinsky was back there trying to handle that punt. Had some trouble with it.
5045 648 5045.
And Riverside will take over from its own 14-yard line, 1st down and 10. They have some work to do if they want to get in this football game, as they are on the short end of a 22-0 score. Riverside was down 14-0 at halftime. And then Good took off. Billy Good took off. He returned the opening kickoff in the 2nd half.
He's back in the game at right corner,
so he's okay.
When they saw him not out there as a punter, though,
Well, maybe they just didn't want to chance anything. And a little shovel pass, and they'll go up the middle with the running play. John Greenfield, ball
Gilchrist
carrier.
shovel pass goes complete to John Greenfield. Brought down by Chase Nolan. Finished off by Cross Douglas.
Well, Riverside needs to make a drive here and put some points on the board right now. They're starting to get slim on time here.
Well, this is actually the possession where you have to make something happen. You have to get your offense untracked. You cannot give the ball back to Lakeland down 22-0 and give the Chiefs good field position. 2nd and 1. Oh, the high snap. Gilchrist will have to fall on it. And he'll take the loss inside the 10-yard line. On the call, Spall scoreboard in the third quarter. Dunmore 28-0 over the Chargers. North Pocono 21-19 over Scranton in the third quarter. Honesdale trailing Western Wayne 41-16. That's also in the third. Valley View 37-0 over West in the third quarter on the call Spall scoreboard. 3rd down and 14 for the Vikings of Riverside. And there's a flag.
Another delay game. Wow. Well,
when things
both the offenses have checked out.
Yeah.
On the offense.
You never would have thought that.
The way the first half went, Lakeland, was razor sharp. They start the third quarter sluggish. Riverside can't get untracked offensively. And with 3:40 remaining here in the third, penalty will move Riverside back, and they will face 3rd down and about 19 yards to go. Gilchrist rolling, fires, and let's wait for the official word. They say he caught it.
That's good. You want the catch. Let the clock run. It's 4th down. They got a punt.
Gilchrist pass. Complete to Reyes. Gain of 8 on the play.
Riverside's going to go for it here on 4th and 11.
Brings up 4th and 11.
Wow, you talk about rolling the dice. Let's see if Harry Armstrong will call a timeout before the snap right here.
Timeouts aren't something you want to start wasting right now.
Yep, they're going to go for it. Gilchrist will fire it.
Got it.
And the pass is complete, and they get the first down. Can you believe it?
Gilchrist pass.
Well, we said it. He's got to have something here.
That's putting a lot of confidence in your offense. New set of downs for the Vikings in a hurry-up offense with 2:23 to play in the third quarter. And Lakeland up 22-0. Gilchrist goes out in the flat once again on the far side of the field.
Flag came
Gilchrist
way.
pass complete to Sean Torres.
Flag on the play.
I'll tell you what, Harry Armstrong is going to lose about 15 pounds on that far sideline. He's sprinting from the 25 out to the 40 and back. Covers a lot of ground.
Holding?
Yep, holding on Riverside.
Wow, that's their 11th penalty.
Block in the back.
Was it holding or blocking?
First down and long for Riverside. Gilchrist in some trouble. Throws off balance, and that pass is incomplete. Boy, he had to unload under pressure. Lakeland was right there with the defensive pursuit. And the incompletion will stop the clock with 2 minutes and 3 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 19.
Now the Vikings facing second down and 18 yards to go.
Fumble.
And a loose football. Players battle for it. Looks like Riverside will keep it.
Christian Pine recovered a fumble.
Well, in the first half where Riverside was usually 3 and out, and then Lakeland would get the football and, had some offense going and picking up some back-to-back first downs. This third quarter has really been sluggish by both teams.
This turned into a Chinese fire drill. Wow. Nobody knows where they're going. Timeouts are coming. Guys,
Now we're going to
throw the playbooks away. Wow.
We'll go to a break here on.
Providing the ultimate in professional service is a tradition at Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Carbondale. For more than 50 years, families in Carbondale and its surrounding area have used our 2 Hospital Street and 74 North Main Street locations for a traditional service, cremation or memorial services, or a service of personal preference. Contact Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated to handle every detail.
Your local Napa dealer, Carbondale Auto Parts, has been serving the area for over 38 years with quality automotive replacement parts, tools, and accessories. Experience the Napa know-how difference with great service you've come to know and trust from the staff at Carbondale Auto Parts. Your Napa know-how folks.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
Back at Lakeland for more action as the Vikings will face third down and 22 yards to go from their own 18. Gilchrist hits the deck and takes the sack. And there is C.J. Dupree.
No, he can't be stopped.
Boy, you talk about a guy who puts pressure on a quarterback. It is C.J. Dupree. Great athlete, real competitor.
Loss of 12 on the play brings up 4th and 34.
That will pin Riverside deep in its own territory. Ryan Semyon will have to punt from deep in his own end zone. Mike Pigeon awaits the kick along with Billy Good for Lakeland.
Another penalty.
Another flag. Pigeon calls for a fair catch. And we will let the officials sort this out.
Flag on the play.
Wow.
Now that's illegal procedure, declined by Lakeland. Chiefs will take over possession of the football on the Viking 30. 33.4 seconds remain in the third quarter here on the Call Spall scoreboard with the Chiefs leading 22-0.
This game has turned into from one that was really rolling and moving nicely, and both teams playing pretty good, to I don't know what. I have no idea what. Everything seems to be just going wrong for Riverside.
As Dupree will step to the line of scrimmage. You know, it's like an old 6-cylinder car running on 3 cylinders.
It's like you put water in the gas tank.
So a flag comes out, a penalty on Lakeland, 5-yarder, sets them back to the 35. 1st and 15 for the Chiefs. And they'll try it again. As Dupree hands it off. And for Lakeland, Jaron Bullock, sophomore. Now we have a player shaken up for the Vikings with 18 seconds left. And we'll take this opportunity to remind you this Adams Cable Sports presentation of high school football is brought to you by the Comfort Doctors, T.E. Spall & Son Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing of Carbondale. When you have heating, cooling, or plumbing problems, remember, just call Spall. By Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center, the true professionals in the auto body and collision repair business. They will make your vehicle and bring it back to showroom condition. A big thanks to Tony and the gang at Beston's. NJS Systems and Controls, Route 6 Mayfield, for experience, dependability, and 24-hour service. Be sure and tell Nick Cerniak you heard all about it right here on Adams Cable High School football. Thanks to Nick's Excavating and Paving, a real busy guy recently. You saw him all around the Upper Valley doing jobs, and still plenty of time remaining to get your fall project taken care of. Tom's Floor Shop, thanks to Ronnie and Tom at Tom's Floor Shop, Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home, and of course, by your local Napa Auto Parts store, Carbondale Auto Parts, and Sam Kalura at the Roselle Department Store, proud sponsor of your starting lineups for today's matchup between the Vikings and the Chiefs. Final 7 seconds will tick away, and that will do it for third quarter action here at Lakeland, with the Chiefs leading the Vikings 22-0 on Adams Cable High School football.
Now's the time to unleash the internet. With Adams Cable Service, you get internet with speeds up to 120 megs. It's the speed you need that blows the doors off of DSL. Connect all of your devices, including iPads and other tablets, game consoles, smartphones, and computers. Upload and share photos and videos instantly. Stream HD movies in a flash and experience online gaming like never before. Call Adams Cable Service today at 1-888-222-0077 and get internet with speeds up to 120 megs.
Too hot? Just call Spall. Too cold? Just call Spall. T.E. Spall & Son, where you'll always get our upfront pricing. Plus, now through Wednesday, own a new energy-saving AC system for just $2.84 a day with our exclusive guarantee. Plus, get 0% financing.
We called Spall, and not only do we save a lot of money,
But they're a name that you can trust. They get the job done fast, and they get it done right.
Just call Spall or see us now at callspall.com.
Lakeland in possession of the football from the Viking 25 as Dupree will hand it off, and Lakeland will run the football straight up the gut of the Viking defense.
Bullock again
is a sophomore running back for Lakeland, wearing number 23. 22-0 if you're just tuning in. It's been all Lakeland in this football game. Primarily, their defense has played well. They took advantage of field position and turnovers, and they have a 22-0 advantage over the Riverside Vikings. Right now, looking to punch another one in the end zone as C.J. Dupree will set them down. Bullock takes the handoff and is caught at the line of scrimmage. Now, right now, Nick, if you're Lakeland, keep it on the ground, clock management, get it in the record book.
If you put it in the air, there's no need to. Just keep it at that. There's no need to put this ball in the air if you got a blue shirt on. I don't care if it's 4th and 900.
You know, in years gone by in Big 11 action in a game between maybe Valley View and West Scranton, boy, if you had a lead, as C.J. Dupree will hand it off, Bullock once again inside the 10-yard line. If West had the lead and they had a running game, fourth quarter, they're pounding the football. Clock management and...
West Scranton would run out of one formation.
Yes, I think that's all they had at the time, and it paid dividends. They had a big line. Usually when they were in the Big 11, they were big up on the front line and big in the backfield, and if they threw 2 passes a game, that was it. And they're coming right at you with power. 3rd down and 3 for the Chiefs, as once again they will give it to Bullock, straight up the middle. And Valley View would do the same if they had the lead. Right here, Lakeland As we have an official timeout, a player for Lakeland is shaken up. He's down on the field. The clock has stopped with 9:44 remaining here in fourth quarter action on the Call Spall scoreboard.
Well, I tell you, it came a long way. You know, we think about, you talk about the old times in the Big 11 and the Suburban. No one had a trainer. No one. Oh. Put some mud on it and get going, right? But wow, so how sophisticated we've become, and rightfully so, because the game has gotten to be such a physical game, and you need people there that are good at what they do here.
Yeah, that are trained for any situation, and hopefully this is not a serious injury, but the injured player is being looked at closely, and we'll try to update you on some scores from around the area here on the Call Spall scoreboard. Third quarter, 41-16, Western Wayne leads Honesdale. 28-0, Dunmore knocks off Carbondale. That is a final.
No score again for Carbondale.
So Carbondale, through 3 games, unable to put any points on the scoreboard, so their offensive woes continue.
And then don't they go to Lake Lehman next week?
I'm not sure. I could check the schedule for you, Glenn, but
I know they said their first 5 games were
very
toughest.
difficult.
Yeah.
And with 9:44 to play here in the fourth quarter, play action is stopped, and injured player being attended to at about the 7-yard line. 22-0 if you're just tuning in. Lakeland leads Riverside. Coming up on September 14th, Saturday, September 14th, we will have high school football between Susquehanna and Mid-Valley from Mid-Valley Stadium. Saturday afternoon game. Looking forward to that. Years gone by, guys, we used to have Saturday afternoon football here at Lakeland, and if you had a beautiful day up here in the fall, there was nothing like it when the leaves were turning, and of course, Lakeland was able to put lights in the stadium here and play Friday night football. But for many years, they played day games here at Lakeland Stadium. That was when they had a 1:30 kickoff also, Nick.
Yeah.
And if it was a long game and you were like late in October, early November, you get to that 4 o'clock time in the afternoon. It was getting a little bit dark at that time.
You used to get the SATs on a Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be a 2 o'clock start.
Well, let's check the number of this player.
That is Bullock.
And he is being carried off the field, of course. So we hope he's going to be okay. We hope it's not a serious injury.
Here's something for you. As I look down this Lakeland roster, Nicholas Mancuso, Jacob Curcio, Mason Ormsby, Tommy Arthur, all sons of people that played football for Carbondale area.
Yeah, familiar names.
And as we speak, there's Mancuso in the game, number 2.
As Lakeland will look at first down and goal from the 8, and a whistle, and a timeout is called by Riverside. Easy, Glenn.
Timeout, Riverside.
As we go to a break on Adams Cable High School football.
No one likes to think about it, but auto accidents happen. If you're in an accident, call the professionals at Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale to return your vehicle back to showroom condition. Beston's Collision Center has been committed to excellence by providing the highest quality, state-of-the-art repairs and exceptional customer service. At Beston's, their motto is, every job is perfect or it doesn't leave the shop. Beston's Collision Center in Carbondale. Their name says it all. What does it mean to be an expert? Does it mean getting the job done right? Or being able to pinpoint a problem and quickly find a solution? Whatever the meaning, the team at NJS are your experts in hydraulic and pneumatic components. So whether you need a custom hose built on the spot or a cylinder repaired from the ground up, the experts at NJS are there when you need them. And with the area's largest hose and fittings warehouse, NJS has thousands of the parts you need in stock and ready to go. NJS, Route 6 Mayfield, online at njsco.com. NJS is proud to call this area home and proud to sponsor our area athletes on Adams Cable Channel 7.
CJ Dupree scores on an 8-yard touchdown run for Lakeland, and they now lead Riverside 28-0.
No, nothing fancy about that. Just straight ahead.
Well, Dupree coming on the near sideline. He's walking around with a little bit of a limp there, so he will come to the bench, and Lakeland will attempt the extra point right here. Low snap. That kick is good.
And good by Billy Good.
Billy Good converts on the extra point. And it's 29-0, the Chiefs on Adams Cable High School Football.
Mix Excavating and Paving of Carbondale is committed to providing professional service in residential and commercial excavating, land clearing and demolition, foundations, driveways, sidewalks, and utility lines. Enhance your property with new paving and seal coating, mulch, or stone. For expert service on your next project, count on Mix Excavating and Paving Carbondale. At Tom's Floor Shop in Childs, you get a lot more than you'll ever find in your big box stores. Tom, Ronnie, and the staff each have over 30 years' experience providing great floors to homes and businesses in northeastern Pennsylvania. Tom's Floor Shop will style your home in contemporary elegance and classic beauty with a wide variety of name brand carpeting, hardwood, vinyl, ceramic tile, and professional installation. All roads lead to where great floors begin at Tom's Floor Shop, exit 6 off the Casey Highway in Childs.
Stop in and see Tom or Ronnie for all of your flooring and carpeting needs. You know, the holidays, folks, are right around the corner, so now is a good time to start thinking about upgrading your home for the holidays. And stop in and see the gang at Tom's Floor Shop in Childs for everything you need to style your home. Billy Good will kick it off for Lakeland, up 29-0 over the Riverside Vikings. That's a dandy kick back to the 10-yard line. Nice. And on the return, the Vikings have something going as they advance the football out to the 42-yard line.
Rajon Reyes on the return.
Rosin Reyes, the senior, on the return for the Vikings. And they have pretty good field position to start this drive here in the fourth quarter with 9:19 remaining.
First and 10 Vikings from the 43-yard line.
I don't think anybody saw this score coming.
No.
Not at all.
I expected it to be a close game, 4 or 5 points at the most. And you know, Lakeland just has played a great football game. Defensively, taking advantage of opportunities, and Riverside never really got untracked in this game. They'll try it right here. Gilchrist will look on for a screen. It's incomplete. It was intended for Reyes.
Gilchrist screen pass intended for Reyes. Falls incomplete.
And that will stop the clock with 9 minutes and 16 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Well, Nick, start thinking about the Spall call of the game.
Oh, I already have it.
No, there's not even a question, is there?
I don't think there should be.
Gilchrist will go on an inside handoff to Pond. He takes the football across midfield into Lakeland territory. Well, it's 29-0 Lakeland as Riverside will face third down and about 2 yards to go. And low snap from center. Gilchrist, good job to pick it up. And this pass is, well, it could have been intercepted and intended for Reyes through his hands. Incomplete.
You know, really, when you look at how Lakeland played defensively, they did a real good job. Their defensive backs covering the receivers for Riverside.
And you have to credit the defensive line for Lakeland because they have made Gilchrist uncomfortable in the pocket all night.
To say the least.
4th down and 2 for the Vikings. Gilchrist looking, passes incomplete and a flag.
Oh, wow. What was that?
They're going to call pass interference on him.
Pass interference.
Flag came out quickly.
That was a good hit.
That will result in an automatic first down for the Vikings and sustain the drive.
Wow. That looked like a good hit from here.
It was bang, bang, but yeah.
That will give the Vikings excellent field position at the Lakeland 34. Vikings looking to hit the scoreboard as Gilchrist will scramble and hits the deck after a pretty good gain inside the 30-yard line. Vikings in the hurry-up offense right here.
Gain of 6 brings up 2nd and 4.
Gilchrist goes underneath the coverage,
Fumble.
and the ball is loose. Lakeland will fall on it, and they have the football. Looked like Robbie Thomas falling on the football for Lakeland, and a flag on the play.
Dane Barrett caused a fumble on that play. After Gilchrist completed the pass to Reyes.
Well, the official picked up the flag. They're talking it over right here.
You don't want to see anybody get tossed out of the game here because you're done for next week.
Sportsmanlike conduct.
Surprisingly, you had the pick before. Yeah, upset of the year. What?
Well, the official on the far side having a word with head coach Harry Armstrong.
It seems to me that Riverside really lost their cool here. Their players really lost their cool, and this is their 13th penalty. And that's what, a 15-yarder?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 15-yard penalties they had. Well, actually, one was a 10-yard because it was
half the distance.
Yeah.
Well, I'm no mathematician, but that's a lot of yards and penalties.
I'm not counting the fives.
Personal fouls.
And I'm not counting the fives and the two half the distances they had. They had
a couple delay games. You had a couple of holds. You had a couple of false starts. Yeah, it's.
Now with 8:01 remaining on the call Spall scoreboard, Lakeland 29, Riverside nothing.
If you're Lakeland, you just want to get out of this game.
Well,
you want to get out healthy.
I'm looking. Do I see all new white jerseys over there? Well, maybe. Maybe not.
For Lakeland, it's going to be a whole new offense because the Dupree standing over here, Good standing over
Yeah.
here. So you're going to have a wholesale substitutions.
Well, I
here.
think, let's check this out. I think you're going to have a freshman running the offense at quarterback. Spatero. 5'8", 155-pound freshman wearing number 1. He'll run the offense. Minico Spatero handing it off, and that is Shane Barrett on the carry.
Shane Barrett on a carry.
The only problem with Barrett being the ball carrier is you're starting middle linebacker who played a heck of a game tonight.
Not till Lakeland. First down.
And the chain gang will move the sticks on the far side of the field with 7:55 left here in the fourth quarter. Ball spotted at the 37 of Riverside. And the Lakeland second unit in the ball game. And Spatero, the freshman, will come up under center. They'll run it. Barrett once again bounces off a defender, then is gang tackled by a host of white shirts from Riverside. Gavin Williams leading the way defensively for the Vikings, wearing number 1. John Greenfield also in on the tackle. Seven and a half minutes left in the fourth quarter. I'll try to get the scoreboard fired up here, guys. Second down play. Lakeland will run it. Chase Nolan, a junior, running back.
Excellent tackle by Rowe for Riverside out in the open field.
And on the Colts ball scoreboard in the fourth quarter, Western Wayne leads Honesdale 53-14. North Pocono in the fourth over Scranton 21-19. As Lakeland will approach the line of scrimmage, of course, Dunmore shutting out Carbondale 28-0. That's a final. And now Lakeland running the football.
Jake Curcio on the carry.
Jacob Curcio, only a sophomore, getting an opportunity to showcase his talents for the Lakeland second unit. Well, this is how you get players' experience. Get out to a lead, and in the fourth quarter, all of these young players who practice so hard during the week get an opportunity to get into a varsity game. And it is 4th down and 15 for the Chiefs. From the Viking 42. Spatero almost lost it. They will hand it off, and the Vikings are right there. Ball is loose. No whistle. The play is still going. And for Riverside, that is Noah Parchinski scoring. There was no whistle.
Noah Parchinski picked up the fumble, took it to the house.
I thought I heard a whistle.
Now the official is walking back, so let's check this out. I heard somebody in the crowd say, blow the whistle.
Well, oh well. They take this away from Riverside, Harry will go crazy.
Forward progress was stopped before the fumble. Turnover on
So the
down.
touchdown will not count.
Riverside ball.
Score will remain 29-0.
Forward progress stopped. But that isn't that means a whistle should be blown then, right?
I think there was a whistle blown, but
And anyway, a nice fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Obviously, the boy from Riverside was it number 7?
Yeah.
Parchinski never gave up, continued to play. Good for him. Gets nothing for it, but
5:21 left in the fourth quarter. As the Vikings will go to work offensively. From midfield. And Gilchrist handing it off. And this play goes nowhere to shut down by the Lakeland defense.
it's the second unit of Lakeland against the first unit of Riverside.
And the second unit doing a good job shutting down the Vikings. And a loss on the play to the 45 will bring up second down and about 14 yards to go. .445 left in the fourth quarter. Play clock is down to 5. Riverside has to move quickly. I don't know if they're going to get this off. They just did. They caught a break right there. The ball is loose. Who has it? Lakeland will recover the football. For the Chiefs, they come up with a big fumble recovery. Connor Passament Jr. comes up with a big fumble recovery, and Lakeland takes over possession of the football with 4:25 left to play in the fourth.
5 turnovers, Glenn?
Yep. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions.
Wow. That tells the story of the game right there.
Yeah, that is something that you would not expect from a team coached by Harry Armstrong, especially after the start they had in the first 2 games.
Somebody needs a running back.
Here we go.
Anthony, get out there.
Jacob Curcio will check into the lineup as a running back for Lakeland.
Those 4 boys that I named, all sophomores, all young kids. They're sort of their future is looking good up in Lakeland here.
Spataro, the freshman, flag on the play. Somebody on the offensive line took off too early.
Number 70.
Nathan Lowry, I believe.
Yep.
5-yard penalty will move the football to the 47. That clock seems like it's been at 4:25 forever.
Oh, my God, I know.
I just happened to glance out.
4:25 in the morning, we're going to get out of here.
Spataro on a
Fumble.
handoff. Loose ball.
Fumble. Yep.
And I believe Riverside will have it. Vikings come up with it.
Antonio Natale was on the carry.
Tyler Hoskins may have been the guy who recovered the fumble for the Vikings. So they will go back on the offensive attack with 4:19 left.
Fumble was recovered by Tyler Hoskins. First 10 Riverside.
Get the Viking offense back out on the football field.
Got the first offense still out there.
Yep.
Wow.
From the 48-yard line, first down for Riverside. And Gilchrist handing it off. And there is the running back, Ethan Keithline, getting the call, wearing number 26, the freshman at 5'9", 155 pounds. Riverside hopes to avert the shutout right here.
From his friends was brought down, but not until Riverside first down.
As we have exactly 4 minutes left in the football game. And Lakeland leading 29-0. They'll go with a little pass out in the flat to Pond, Christian Pond, and he tiptoes out of bounds near the 21-yard line, and a flag on the play.
Oh, boy.
More flags on the play.
Officials must be getting paid by the hour.
Wow. That was like, what did he give, a forearm to the head or something? That's what it looked like.
Well, right now, the Vikings with their best field position of the contest at the Lakeland 11-yard line against the second unit. Gilchrist will go with a pass out in the flat. Christian Pond inside the 5, and he's got a touchdown from 11 yards out. And the Vikings will avert the shutout as they are on the scoreboard with 3:27 to play in the fourth, trailing 29-6. Brian Semyon on for the point after touchdown. Bit of a high snap. His kick will just make it. And it's good. 3:27 left in the fourth, 29-7. Lakeland over Riverside on Adams Cable High School football.
Providing the ultimate in professional service is a tradition at Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, Carbondale. For more than 50 years, families in Carbondale and its surrounding area have used our 2 Hospital Street and 74 North Main Street locations for a traditional service, cremation or memorial services, or a service of personal preference. Contact Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated to handle every detail.
Your local Napa dealer, Carbondale Auto Parts, has been serving the area for over 38 years with quality automotive replacement parts, tools, and accessories. Experience the Napa know-how difference with great service you've come to know and trust from the staff at Carbondale Auto Parts. Your Napa know-how folks.
Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how. Napa know-how.
Back at Lakeland Stadium alongside Glenn Muskowski, Nick Homick, producer Anthony Cook, and Kyle Kemmerer in the Adams Cable studio. I'm Steve Young. Great to have you with us tonight with 3:27 to play fourth quarter. 29-7 your score. Lakeland leading Riverside as the Vikings finally get the football in the end zone, but it does come against the Lakeland second unit. Now Riverside will tee up the football and kick off to the Chiefs. And Billy Good.
All the hands people
Lakeland.
up on the front line for Lakeland.
And we'll see if Semyon will go with a squib kick right here. No, he'll kick it away. And it's good from his own 8-yard line. Good looking near side. Will tiptoe out of bounds near the 27-yard line. So for Lakeland, a very, very good performance here tonight against the Riverside Vikings, something that we did not expect. We expected a much closer game. And for Lakeland next week, they will be on the road and take on West Scranton. Last year, they lost an 8-point contest, 28-20 to the Invaders. Week 5, they will be at Mid-Valley. Week number 6, they'll take on Western Wayne here at home. And we will have that broadcast for you here on Adams Cable, Channel 107. Following week, Carbondale will be in town. We'll also bring you the action here from Lakeland Stadium in week number 7 of high school football. 3:21 left in the fourth. Lakeland's second unit, and they will run the football. Antonio Natali, senior, I believe, getting the call, wearing number 13.
Antonio Natali on a carry.
So a good opportunity for many underclassmen to see action here tonight in the varsity contest. Connor Nevins is in the ball game for the Chiefs, wearing number 17, junior wide receiver. He'll come to the near side on the formation with 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Lakeland, the second unit, running out of the eye, and a flag on the far side of the field. And this will be a 5-yard penalty. Marked off against Lakeland. Put the football back to the 25-yard line. And the freshman quarterback, Spatero, will fall forward on the running play. And just get back to the original line of scrimmage at the 30.
Tripped up on the play.
And we have 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So it's been all Lakeland right here, Glenn.
Yes, it has. It has, Steve. And as we said, they came in with a game plan to keep the ball on the ground, run the clock down, and they did a very good job of it, along with the help of 5 turnovers from Riverside. That kind of shot Riverside's chances. Spatero for a nice 10-yard run for a first down.
Well, C.J. Dupree got the scoring going in the first quarter.
We're out down by Colin Rowe.
And Lakeland was out to a 6-0 lead. Billy Good with the extra point. Giovanni Spatero on a 10-yard run with 58 seconds left in the second quarter, and it was 14-0 at halftime.
Then Good ran the opening kickoff back in the second half, made it 22-0, and then of course Dupree with the 8-yard run in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes to go, made it 29.
As Spatero will take a knee to let the clock run.
So it was, you expected a different result, obviously. We expected a knock them down, drag them out kind of a game with some passing by Riverside. Didn't happen tonight. Riverside's going to go back to the drawing board, do some work, and I'm sure Armstrong will have them ready to go again. Lakeland should be proud of the way they played this team after a tough loss last week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Lakeland really.
How about
what they can do.
How about the call of the game, Nick?
No doubt. I think Billy Good's second half kickoff return for a touchdown really broke his game open.
Yeah, it surely did. I don't even think there's any question with that.
So the call of the game goes to Billy Good on the second half kickoff return for Lakeland that really set the stage for the scoring in the second half, and that will do it. The Chiefs victorious tonight over Riverside by the score of 29-7. Lakeland overall improves to 2 wins and 1 loss. They are now 1 win and no losses in the Division III, while the Riverside Vikings overall fall to 2-1. And in Division III, they even their record at 1 win and 1 loss. And that is going to wrap it up here at Lakeland Stadium. For Glenn Muskowski, Nick Homick, producer Anthony Cook, and Kyle Kemmerer in the Adams Cable studio, I'm Steve Young. Till next time, thanks for joining us, and so long from Lakeland. And it's all been brought to you by Adams Cable Service, by the Comfort Doctors, T.E. Spall & Son, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing of Carbondale, Beston's Auto Body and Collision Center, NJS Systems and Controls, Route 6 Mayfield for experience, dependability, and 24-hour service. Nix Excavating and Paving. Tom's Floor Shop, your first step to a beautiful home, Main Street, Childs. Lawrence A. Gabriel Funeral Home and Cremation Services Incorporated, with locations at 74 North Main Street and 2 Hospital Street, and by your local Napa Auto Parts store, Carbondale Auto Parts. Your starting lineups for today's game were presented by the Roselle Department Store in Carbondale. Lakeland, a 29-7 winner over the Riverside Vikings. Join us again Saturday, September 14th for more high school football, when the Mid-Valley Spartans will host the Susquehanna Sabres here on Adams Cable High School Football.